All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about the magic behind how your tech gives you those incredibly smart, connected answers. It's kind of like a hidden brain powering some of the biggest companies and platforms in the world, and it's called the Knowledge Graph. You know how it is, you ask your phone something like, who directed that movie and what other films have they made? And boom, you don't just get a boring list of blue links, you get a real structured answer. It honestly feels like magic, but what's really going on is a very, very clever system. And that system, that brain behind assistants like Siri, Alexa, and Google, is the knowledge graph. It's the whole reason they can understand the meaning and the context of what you're asking, not just the keywords you're throwing at it. So what in the world is a knowledge graph, really? Let's break it down into its most basic parts. It's actually simpler than it sounds. Okay, so here's the key idea. A knowledge graph isn't a list, it's a network. It doesn't just store random disconnected facts. Instead, it actually maps out the web of relationships between all those facts, kind of like how our own brains connect ideas about the real world. The most fundamental building blocks of this whole thing are called entities. Now, the easiest way to think about an entity is just a noun. Seriously, a person is an entity, a company, a city, a movie, a scientific idea. If you can name it, it can be an entity in the graph. And here's how it all snaps together. You've got one entity, let's say a specific song. You've got another entity, a specific album. The knowledge graph then creates a link, a relationship between them. So if entities are the nouns, these relationships are the verbs. This song is part of that album. It's this super simple sentence-like structure, repeated millions or even billions of times, that builds this incredibly powerful web of understanding. So that's the basic concept. But this isn't just about answering trivia questions. The real power of a knowledge graph comes out when you apply it to a massive, frustrating problem that almost every large organization on the planet faces. And that problem is this. Information gets trapped. It's locked away in different departments, stuck in different spreadsheets, hidden in different databases, and none of them talk to each other. We call these information silos. And these silos, they just create chaos. As more and more data piles up, it gets totally unmanageable and inconsistent. And at the end of the day, when your data is all disconnected, the insights you get from it are incomplete. Or even worse, they're just flat out wrong. So this is where the knowledge graph steps in to save the day. It's literally designed to break down those walls and start connecting all the dots across an entire company. I mean, just look at this comparison. Before, you've just got this list of disconnected facts, right? An employee here, a project there, a director over there. They're just random entries in a database. But once you connect them in a knowledge graph, you can suddenly start asking really intelligent questions. You can see the relationship between Jane Doe and all her projects and figure out, hey, is she overloaded? You can find out which employees collaborate the most. You're actually connecting the dots. And that right there is the fundamental shift. A knowledge graph lets you ask these complex, layered questions that were just, practically impossible to answer with old-school databases. You go from just fetching data to genuinely discovering new insights. And that leads us to the most profound impact of this whole technology. It's not just about getting better answers. It's about creating a better way to be curious in the first place. This quote really nails the true power of this. See, the goal isn't just to get one perfect answer and stop. It's about how each answer reveals new connections, which then sparks a new, even smarter question. You end up in this amazing, powerful cycle of discovery. So we'll end on this one thought. Just imagine for a second, what if every single piece of information in your world or your company was perfectly connected? What would be the very first question you'd ask? That right there is the power of the knowledge graph. It doesn't just give you answers, it completely changes the questions you're even capable of asking.